Good morning, everyone. Today we're back with Ginger over at Ginger's Corner, and we are making scraps to embellishments. And today's embellishment is called Brown Eyed Girl, and you just need to use brown to create any embellishment, and it has to be at least 2 layers. So anyhow, I just thought, oh, I'm sure I got a little brown, an animal I could make that would be brown. So anyhow, I went looking through my dies and I found this little squirrel, and I thought he's super cute. And then I thought I would like to have a little leaf by him, and he's got a little acorn that came with the die. The die has a fox, and the fox could also be made into a raccoon, and then it had this little squirrel. And I'm just doing the squirrel today, and then I'm using a leaf from a collection that has like all different kind of fall things in it. So that's what I'm making today. And let's see, I'll kind of move out a little bit so we can kind of sit here in the frame. Okay, so I've got this little guy cut out. He's got, I'm gonna call it his vest. And so that's the little part that goes in the middle. And then the little acorn, and then the leaf. So these two I cut out of the same paper. This is a separate paper. And then I had this leaf, or this paper, it's a scrap, and it was from Craft Consortium, and it's where they look like metals and everything. But I'm thinking, I mean, if I threw this out on the ground, you wouldn't be able to tell it from the other leaves. It looks so realistic. Okay. So they actually did cut out his eyes and his nose as well, but I'm just gonna draw in the eyes, or color in the eyes, and I'm probably gonna get right over them. I'll try to not be too much over them, but so I decided it would just be too, well, actually I could only find one eye, so once it cut out. And then he's got a little bitty mouth, and I'm just going to draw that in too. They didn't actually have the mouth. And so I'm just kind of making him look like he's smiling. And then I am going to use his nose and glue that on. And it won't take much glue because it's just a little nose. Oh, that's probably more glue than what I needed. And yeah, see on my little thing here, see I have one eye and one nose. And that's out of, cutting it 3 times, or 2. I only got one eye out of 4. Okay, there's that side. Okay. And I think I need the tweezers now to kind of adjust it into its space. Oh, and then the fingernail to push it back. Okay, there we go. That looks like its spot. Okay, he's so cute. And I'm also using walnut stain, and I'm gonna go around him with that. The first time I went around this one, it's like I didn't re-ink it, and it's like, wow, that took so much work, and I didn't even really put anything on it. So I thought I had to start a little more ink. I'm trying not to knock off his nose, but it's probably dry by now. Okay, so I'm just kind of going around the edges first. Oh, I thought I fixed my light, and it's flickering again. I think I need a new bulb. Okay, so I'm going all the way around him, and then I'm going to push back his tail out of the way so I can ink this part of him. And I'm going to do that with his chin also. Whoops, he jumped right out of my hand. And then I'm going to do the two hands. I know everybody calls them feet, but I've seen them use them. They're hands. The squirrels have hands or feet?
Sure looks like they have hands.
Yeah, every time I see them, I'm pretty sure they have hands. I'm gonna just rub a little bit across his belly too. Okay. So he looks pretty cute now. Oops, trying to get it in there. Okay, and I'm gonna do the acorn as well. And the acorn is pretty tiny. I'm trying to think, it's bigger than a peppercorn. And so I'm going across the top, so I want the whole like little cap of it to be darker, so I'm kind of doing that whole thing. Whoops, and yeah, having a little trouble holding on to it. And then I'm going to just kind of go around the edge of the rest of it. Okay, so that's done. And I am going to ink the leaf around the edges too. It just kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. And I'm sure I could even use a darker color because it is already pretty dark, but I can see where it makes a difference. And then I'm going to do that center. And you could probably do all the veins too, but I'm not going to do that, but I just think it looks so realistic already. Okay, so I did not ink this because I think it just makes it stand apart a little more if I don't. Okay, and then I'm going to, I have to lift up his paws, maybe that's what they call them, paws. And I'm going to tuck in his little vest. I do realize it's supposed to be his fur, but in my mind I'm having to stick it underneath his chin. It seems like a vest to me. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. And I'm going to slide it over just a little bit, maybe. Oh, look at that. It went. Maybe a little more than I wanted. Okay, I'm going to give it another little push up. There we go. That looks like where I want it. And then you should be able to see it back here a little bit. And you can see it behind his hands. He's got that. And the only place I'm going to put glue is right here at the bottom. Because, you know, the glue is going to keep it from going anyplace. So I just need one more hand to actually look at it or show you and get the glue in there. Okay. So that's going to keep it from going anyplace, but I'm going to wipe off where I got that excess there. And I'm not gluing his hands now because I am going to put this acorn in his hands. And so I am going to put like a little dab of glue right behind that. And slide it in there. And you know, if you had a whole bunch of squirrels, you could put the little nut in a different direction. You could put the leaf in another direction. But I'm going to pretty much leave it like this today. And then I'm going to use a dimensional. I'm going to put a big one down here because it fits just right. And then I'm going to put a smaller one up here. I could probably use too small, but I might by the time, you know, if it seems like it really doesn't make a difference, I don't know. Okay, and so he just needs to be right here in front of the leaf, and I just think it makes it look like it's more behind him. I mean, you could bend it a little bit, but I think he is super, super cute. Oh, I could do the little white in the eye. I do like to do the little white in the eye because it makes them look like that made them alive. Hope I might have to scribble someplace else first. I have to put on something black so I know it's there. Yeah, I like that. I'll put a little on the nut and maybe just a little bit on the leaf. I don't think he would be too shiny. Maybe a little bit on the ears. Okay. But I do think putting that little twinkle in his eye, I think it makes it look more realistic. And I'm gonna just put a tiny bit on the leaf. Okay, so that's it for today. I think they are so cute. I hope everybody likes them. And down below, I will have the link that takes you over to everybody who's making YouTube videos, and so you can go see what they're up to for their brown swap. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow. And we're going to start base pages. Yay! See you then. Bye-bye.